News. The latest in dad news. My kid, what's up with that?
So, kids, what they do this week?
What's the deal? Will it ever get better?
Yeah,
Will they get off my lawn?
future dads.
It's nothing but like a circle of dads, like all spouting news about thermostats and like getting off the lawn.
It's funny you mentioned that because I was looking at thermostats before we came on. So,
Are you obsessed with thermostats though? Like as the dad, as the temperature? Like I've never honestly worried about it once.
all the time.
Really? Like, are you monitoring it and like
Mainly I can tell the difference between like 1 degree Celsius, like
Fancy
1 degree
boy.
Celsius. I can tell it. And my wife wants it a certain temperature. I'm like, it's
Of course.
really, let's put it down.
put on a sweater? Come on.
I'm not heating the neighborhood. I'm not.
What I've noticed is like we did not winterproof this house after we moved in, and it's like it is bad. That's definitely
Oh yeah.
a dad task for next year. This and other exciting game news on the podcast. See the great stuff people get during the preamble.
Perfect. I love it.
Absolutely. But let's rip into the show as we are live. The adult beverages are poured, the kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming, a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives. My name is Trevor, and I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old.
Episode 219, and I still get terrified every time I ramp up trying to remember my kids' ages.
Oh no.
And I have a... Ooh, I misplaced my son's middle name today.
Oh no.
Blanked. I had to call it to my wife. I'm like, what's
Little help?
what's my kid's name? Middle name?
Lines.
What? I should know it. Like,
Wow. We're getting old. I think
it was just a brain fart, and
Yeah.
but I needed it, so I had to like call it out, and so just to be shamed by my wife about forgetting my own son's middle name. It's great.
It happens.
Just-
It happens.
Yeah, dads can relate. Everybody, welcome to the show. I imagine many of you were like Jeff here playing the latest and hottest release, Horizon Forbidden West. Jeff, explain to me all the reasons this game is such a terrible disappointment.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my God. Where do I begin? Yeah, this was back a few shows ago. We said to each other that we would promise purchases that we were looking at, right? I think yours is with the Backbone for the mobile gaming, and mine was going to be pre-ordering Horizon Forbidden West for the full $90
Full
up
price.
here in Canada. That's a lot, but I saved $10 because you can buy the PS4 version and then just upgrade for free. So
That was super weird. I saw that tip all over Twitter, and it's just, how did they why did they think this is going to work out fine?
I don't know. I think they got called out on it because this was supposed to be a launch game, and then a year later,
Right.
that's cross-gen stuff, right? So anyway, I plunked down a fair bit of coin to get in this world, and I have not stopped.
Well, tell them where you were when. So I gave out the call to Jeff, like, "Hey, we good to record tonight?"
Yeah. Yeah, I was in Horizon. I did not see your text. They don't have cell phones in this age.
Didn't respond for an hour. I was like, well, I guess we're not recording tonight.
I made it. Yeah, this game has taken over my life. Again, I love the first one not as much as I love this one though. They've just kind of like tweaked everything to make me want to play
Excellent.
more.
That's so great.
And this is one from just a gaming dad perspective that the kids are also really excited for. So, and like this game, if anyone's ever seen it or has not played it, there's not too much in here like that's violent per se. It's just shooting arrows at robots, basically.
Yeah.
And my kids just love seeing the new robots because there's a brand new set of them and just telling me where to go and what side quest to go out of the 100 that are given to you. So they're really engaged with watching me play it, and it actually like just kicked off. It kicked off them from playing Minecraft for a little bit, and they came over to the couch and sat and watched me play this. So I have probably 15 hours in this since its release on Friday, and it is Monday. So that in a gaming dad time span is like
Impressive.
impressive. Yeah, I have never done that, at least for a while, on a game like this. So I am happy.
That's so fantastic that they're into it too, because there was a famous story for listeners that'll recognize it, but Jeff's kids were putting together cheat guides for Jeff's
Yes,
run through Dark Souls.
that's right.
So have them invested in your game. It's such a cheat. It's such a dad cheat because you'll be able to say, "Hey kids, let's all go play a game." Vis-a-vis, watch me play a game that I want to play, and you can help. It'll be great. It's a family experience while I play this game.
Right. It's fun. It brings me back. I know you're not the firstborn, but I am. And I would have the controller. My brother would watch me play every game, and that would be our gaming time. So it's bringing me back to that where I get to have my fun and have a little audience and engage with them too, I guess. But it's been a wild ride. I love it.
That is so fantastic. I'll say watching it has certainly made me miss my PlayStation. So I had, for those who remember, I had sold my PlayStation. Next gen was coming out. I had the PS4,
Yeah.
and it was just, you know what? If I sell my PlayStation now, I can still get enough money. I was able to buy the new Xbox. No regrets there. That's great. But what's seeing this game? Like I never got through the original Horizon, despite loving it. But
Right.
it was the dad time crunch because you progress in the story, stuff is happening, it's all super interesting. Then you arrive at that, I don't know if there's an official name for it, but there's like this sandbox inflection point
Right.
where it's you can proceed to the next mission, but it's way across the map. And meanwhile, here is the 1,000 side quests, and here's the 2,000 points of interest on the map. What do you want to do next? And with very, very little dad time, you're like, oh, that's a lot. I think maybe I'll just go play a hockey game or something. I don't know.
Yeah. No, and I
Uh,
totally
so
get
I
that.
bounced off.
Yeah, and it's the game's fault for that too, because they purposely put those main quests like right in the middle of like 15 other little side quests that are just like just a scooch out from what you could do. You're like, well, just take a look. I'll just go over here and take a look.
Yeah.
And my kids make it no easier where they're like, hey dad, what's over that? I saw something over on that mountain. Go check it out. I'm like, okay. Let's go.
Well, if that's what you want, son. I guess I'll keep playing
I
then.
guess that's another hour. I'll ignore this text from Trevor. Don't worry about it.
That's where what? Sure, blame it on your kid. That's classic. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think to their credit, I never really found it particularly grinding. Like it all felt like really interesting content, but that almost made it worse because I didn't want to miss any of it. I wanted to get into the lore more, find out more story, collect the collectibles, not for the sake of just having it, but each one told
Yeah.
a bit, a story. Lore is great. So just still regret it. I regret not finishing it before releasing my PS4 and seeing the reviews of it, seeing the clips of it, and now hearing your resounding review of it, like how much you've enjoyed it. It
Yeah.
just makes me sad I can't play.
I mean, when you get your PS5, you can load up the original and then hop into this one, and you'll be good. Take a week off.
It sounds like vacation time for sure.
That's right.
All right, that does sound like gaming dad approved.
It is. It's gaming dad approved. Go out and get it and just write off any other responsibilities in your life.
Yeah.
Try and get your kids in there so you don't write off their responsibilities. So,
It sounds like the gaming dad hack of the week. As far get your kids involved up
There.
to the point where they'll want to play. So just before that,
yes.
so you can watch daddy play.
Right.
You can't play. Don't
No.
touch.
Yeah.
Too hard.
Don't. No.
But we'll do this together.
That's right. Yeah. It's a good
Here,
plan.
here's this controller. It's not plugged into anything. you're totally helping.
Here's daddy's phone. Go on GameFAQs and find out where this collectible is.
Yeah, so while you're playing that, I was playing a game that has less pixels than Alo's face. so I dove into Undertale. It had-
Oh.
which is just you could not be more opposite.
Yeah, really.
As far as graphical fidelity, gameplay, anything else like that. But Undertale had been on my radar for a long, long time.
Yep.
The just critical darling of a game that it is. It's on Game Pass, so it was on my wish list. And having recently kind of cleared things up, it's like great. Let's dive into this. Let's get this thing going. Loving it. Like fantastic game. I'm right at the end. I'm about to beat it. We'll probably beat it as of next week.
Nice.
So happy I dived into it. I'll find it. I will say it's. I don't know if you found the same thing with a different game or this one. I have found it didn't quite live up to the hype, which I almost should have expected, because given the way people talk about this game is that it is just the greatest, grandest piece of art that has ever been produced. Like every character and every interaction is so compelling, you'll never look at a video game the same way again. And
Yeah.
given those accolades, and then when you look at the title, it's like, I can't imagine it's actually that good. It was
Yeah,
fan-
I
Go
mean,
on.
it was hyped up when I played it. I think I probably dove in the same year it was released, so maybe 5 years after. It has lost a little bit of its luster, but I understand it. Like it was very different at the time. Like it just offered a whole different set of systems, but I wouldn't say it's like the greatest of all time. Like it's good. It's a great game. Everyone I think should play it and experience it. But yeah, I understand it's a little bit a little overdone.
Over.
But
Like my comment to you before we started the show is that one of the biggest things I heard was these characters. Like I'm so drawn in by these characters. Like they mean so much to me. And they're fun. They're great. Like I do adore them. They all have their interesting personalities, but like I cared a lot more about the characters on Mass Effect than I do for these people. Because it's just very like it's very quick. It's very, I don't want to call it shallow. That's not the right term for it, but you're not arcing over like 30 hours of gameplay to connect with these characters. It's kind of quick and simple.
yeah. Yeah, and I think that's part of its charm too, right? Like you can get in, get out and experience this stuff, but yeah, I don't know about like fully I was going to say like depth in the characters, like 3D, like dimensional. But no, it's a fun like again, I wouldn't hype it up for anybody else listening to the show that hasn't played it. Like it's a great experience. The characters are okay. It's great, but yeah, no Mass Effect. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no Garrison here, so
Yeah. Gaming Dead, I definitely suggest you check it out if you've been around it. And it's a quick one. Like again, it'll take you, I don't know what it's like, anywhere between 2 to 8 hours, something like that.
okay, just quick question though.
Yeah.
Did you finish Final Fantasy 12 before it left Game Pass, before you started this?
Why you got to call me out on the show, Jeff? Like, what do you got to do this to me?
Okay. So that's
So
a
that's
no.
so that's why I'm playing this game.
Okay.
Because that game left. The problem, I was staring down a choice. Okay, where it was
That
this-
decision tree, right? That decision tree you need to do in life. I
it's
get
like
it.
My Xbox Game Pass version of Final Fantasy 12. It was leaving on I think February 18th, 20th soon, like previous, right?
Yeah.
So I was staring it down. I had like a week and a half to beat the whole thing.
Right.
And my gaming time is so sporadic. I can't dedicate. I can't promise. So it's almost like okay. So I'm going to this one weekend put like find 8 hours to put into it, blow an entire weekend, and then on my personal time, and then find out that I have nothing else to give, and I'm no closer. It was almost
Right.
like I'd prefer to be halfway done and not finish it, as opposed to being like 4/5 done and not finish it. That would be more painful. And then my ultimate decision is I own the damn thing on Nintendo Switch, and I had progressed like a quarter of the way.
Right.
Do I just go back and pick up the Switch version and like go through those levels again? What's a dad to do?
I think you really need to put it in your will to say to your kids, finish my save game file.
Avenge me!
Son, please. Whatever. Last wish.
Oh, why you gotta call me out like that, Jeff? Yeah, Undertale started specifically because I lost Final Fantasy, and it was.
Well,
Let me choose something I can actually beat. So I'm gonna get into Undertale and actually beat it. So thanks for ruining that for me.
not a problem.
Now, obviously, that is one of the problems with Game Pass, as discussed. Games
Yeah.
coming, games going. You were running a experiment in some ways, as far as would you continue with Game Pass? You got free, I think, 3 months, like with your kid with your new gaming PC.
Yep.
What is your household's position now? What's the gaming dad decision on keeping Game Pass in the household?
So yeah, Game Pass expires next week, and because it's on my son's computer, so I don't really have access to anything unless he goes to bed and I download Halo or something, which I did. But I will say that he's only ever played Minecraft, so I don't think
Son, you have every game.
every game.
Thousands. You don't even have to like it. You could just touch it, play a level, and leave.
I was
Anything.
even saying download the one I think you recommended a few episodes ago. It was like a Donut County or something. I'm like, just anything that would make this. I mean, if Microsoft has like statistics and my household goes in there, and this computer is just like, okay, this is a new account. We got these people in the trial. What have they played? Minecraft. Okay, that's it. For 3 months. Minecraft. So I don't think we're gonna renew. I think we're just gonna buy Minecraft.
Yeah, it'd be an expensive way to purchase Minecraft.
I mean, right? Like no other interest either. Can't get him off it, so that's what he wants to do. Okay, I guess we'll buy it out. And I don't know if you get discounts off Minecraft or not. If you're part of Game Pass or a subscriber.
I don't think so, no. It's part of the Game Pass, but it's not. I don't think there's any additional discounts for DLC or anything like that.
Okay, so he'll have to decide on which version he wants, because now there's 2 versions, right? So I don't know, but I think the Grant's consensus is we're not buying it. It was a neat thing. I should have talked to you before and done the 1 month trial with the streaming, because I think at least then I would have access.
That's like
easier.
That might have changed the tide, honestly, because like the fact, I know you have an iPad. I think you're on iPhone.
Yep.
iPhone, that doesn't tend to be the best experience, or even iPad for that matter, because they Microsoft and Apple understandably are in a bit of a fight, so they're not letting have the full Game Pass experience, but they do have a way to circumvent it with the browser.
Right.
Like an officially supported circuit, so it's not like you're jailbreaking your phone or something.
Yeah.
But with that being said, just the thought that you could be on your phone or on your iPad somewhere else and like stream like Halo or like take your pick from any of them might have changed the tide for you, but we'll see. If your kid's not going to get into a whole bunch of games and sample it, if you're not going to get into it and just try the buffet of all the games that are available to you by downloading one by one, I could see that it's not going to necessarily win you over.
It's funny that you mentioned gaming buffet, because it's just like going to the Mandarin or something. Like you have all this food in front of you, and my kid goes in and gets like mashed potatoes, and it's just plate of mashed potatoes,
French fries.
Do you mean French fries? Like
chicken nuggets and French fries.
The shrimp or the crab legs or anything. You're not going for the expensive stuff. I get it. Just mashed potatoes, Jello, like all that stuff. So that's what he likes. Okay, I get it. So I guess we'll stick with that, and he can purchase that, and I get to go on record as not experiencing any of the Forzas, any of the
oh my God,
any of Gears of War, nothing, just whatever.
Nothing cool.
Nope, that's it. No coolness.
Well, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm sort of there with you because I bought Minecraft again.
Oh my God.
Hooray! We did
How many
it.
copies? Give me another copy. All right.
I bought, how many have I bought now? So I bought one for PC. I bought one for Switch. I get it via via Game Pass,
Right.
which I pay for, so I've bought it in a sense.
Yep.
And then today I bought the iOS version. I bought it for my phone. Great. So I was having the worst time trying to connect. Here in Canada it's Family Day today, so decided to just do a little bit of gaming before we got outside for the day. 2 kids on my Xbox. I was trying with all of my might to connect my Switch to Xbox.
Oh, right? Really? Wouldn't do it, eh?
I've done it before, and that was like one of those it's just one of those things. It's one of those things where I dislike about gaming sometimes, or these new systems where at least dads like you and I have some hope because we've done something like this before. Right.
Yeah.
So you can try to troubleshoot it. Like we work with tech. Like I might be able to get through this. But I think about parents that perhaps don't use these systems all the time, and them trying desperately to get all these systems connected so that their kids can enjoy something like this. Like it boggles the mind how it might happen. So anyways, I couldn't get it. Like just could not get it to save my life. So my first thought was like, okay, maybe it's on iOS Arcade. Did that ever get? Perhaps it's on iOS Arcade, Apple Arcade.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not. Firstly, but then I saw and it's like it is $9, like $10 on iOS.
Oh yeah. Okay.
$10 for it's a full
for
game.
the full version. Yep.
Yeah, and which is again like it kind of just took me aback a second because like if I go to my computer, I have to pay like $30 for this.
Right.
So what? Why? What is this? What is happening? Why is this like that? But it's like, all right, fine. Well, I'll create like a brand new account here on my phone, and I'll try it this way. And I have the backbone, and I need to validate that purchase.
Right.
So why not have the iOS version, mobile version of Minecraft right on my phone that I can connect to my kids easier without needing the Switch?
Yeah, is it still called? Okay, so before, because I tried to do this a long time ago, but I can't remember what we came up with. Minecraft was called the Pocket Edition on iOS, which confused the crap out of me.
Oh,
'Cause I'm like,
interesting.
oh, is it different? Like, is it smaller in scale or something? But it's not. And I
I
think they renamed it, but I don't know for
Yeah.
sure.
So I know for sure. So what ended up happening? The best part is it still didn't work.
Oh, great.
So I had to create a brand new account. So I created a new email for my younger son, something I'll bequeath upon him in future. Like, here's your email I created specifically because I wanted you to get on Minecraft.
Right.
I got him a pretty choice email, so I'm pretty happy about that. But so all that goes down. I run through and I create a brand new account, connect it, and I was able to connect to my kids' game. So I'm on my phone going on there. But it's flat out Minecraft. I remember that version you're talking about. I think on Android I had the Pocket Edition.
Okay.
I think they've since merged it all because this was just full Mine. It's just called Minecraft and has everything. And I was able to cross-play with the Xbox
That's
right from my phone.
bonkers. I don't know why they did that in the beginning, but that's good. Okay. So your story, how long did that process take you? Or the kids just like standing around like, oh, dad.
Dad, come on.
Like I'm trying to think of like my family when my dad would like get it in his head to fix something like the VCR, the satellite dish or something, and he would take like hours trying to figure it out because he wouldn't let it beat him. Like he had to focus on it. Like no, this is gonna happen, kids.
No. I'm going to teach you a lesson in perseverance, kids.
That's right. Never give up.
It's, when the going gets tough, the tough get going.
That's right, yeah.
I was trying to come up with some dadisms to like to fit the bill. Now the benefit that I had is that while this is going on,
Yeah.
my kids are playing Minecraft.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
there
time is infinite. There is
That's right.
there's no delays. They're fine. They gave me a couple check-ins like, "Hey, can you join?" I'm like, "Yeah, working on it." They're like, "All right." Dude,
1 second.
off they go.
Let me get this. Yeah. Okay. Well, they were at least taken care of, and they weren't standing around. And be like, Dad, come on, let's do it.
And we joined up, and it was marvelous, man. Like it is such a riot to watch these two guys go. And my son, he says to me, "Hey, Dad, watch this. I'm going to build this." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Okay." So he places a armor rack, and then he puts some diamond armor on top of it. He's like, "Hey, watch this. I'm going to build it." And then he just goes up and builds it.
Oh my God.
He just builds his mat because it's one of those things he likes to watch on YouTube. When he's
Oh
watching it,
yes.
where they'll build a huge Among Us character, they'll build a huge dinosaur, whatever.
Yeah.
So he took that inspiration and he plopped down something. He said, "Here, I'm going to build this," and then he just flew up his character and ripped up, and it looked fantastic. It was amazing.
I mean, maybe those skills transfer over into Fortnite with all the building, right? Like, because I was talking to my kids about that. I'm like, you build a lot in this game. Your PvP, you're building all the time. I mean, Fortnite's just the natural progression to this. No, Fortnite's not cool, Dad. So apparently that's on
Wow,
the outs.
really?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Their friends play it, so I think it's just Minecraft is king now and nothing else matters. So
Yeah, that might drop off. But as a gaming dad, we keep swinging back around to it. But
yeah.
as a parent, the fact that this is what they like is fantastic. Like I just couldn't I couldn't be happier that this is the obsession. Fortnite would almost be more worrying for me. This is not from an anti-Fortnite perspective. I don't care. Like if you like Fortnite, it's great. That's a fun big game. It's more to the fact that if you had to choose a game to be obsessed about, being obsessed with this game, Fortnite, and all the creative potential of it, it's awesome. There's so much cool stuff that they can do in this game.
Yeah. I mean, Minecraft, you could also say as a kid, you could be like, okay, just this game, Dad. And it's never ending. Like, just let me finish up this world. Okay.
Oh, they try to pull that on me too.
Oh, really? Okay.
And that's why, I tell you, this is why dads have to be in the know. He's like, "Oh, Dad, I just got to build this." I'm like, "You have been building for like 30 or 40 minutes. Like, you're done." Like, I know how this worked. You could just build ad nauseum for the next 4 days. Like, no.
Yeah.
Like, your time is up. Like, it was a timer. There's no boss. There's no level. There's no save.
Yeah.
Knock
My
it
kids
off.
will my kids will come with their eyes are just like constantly blinking because they're so dry from just staring at the
Oh
screen.
my
They're
god.
like, really, I wasn't that long on the screen. I'm like, okay, no, we need to stop and go out and get like air. Maybe a damp cloth for your eyelids. I don't know.
Love it. Yeah, so as we discovered, Minecraft is on Game Pass. It's not on Apple Arcade, and this represents the what was that, fourth copy that I've purchased,
Yeah, you're getting up there.
and it won't be the last. What's our
That's right.
record? What's the record? I think you've bought not Farmville. Geez, not Farmville. Stardew Valley. You bought Stardew Valley the most, right?
I think so. Yeah, that I own on
Six
pretty
copies?
much anything. Yes,
Smart fridge, smartwatch in your car.
pretty much anywhere there's a screen, Stardew Valley's on it.
Even on the beach, you'll just be drawing it in the sand and like,
That's right.
timing your different builds. So we keep mentioning Apple Arcade, and that's one of the funnier things because the Gaming Dad task, of which you and I both forgot
Yeah, completely.
entirely, was we were supposed to find some gems on Apple Arcade to come and report back on. Neither of us did it.
Nope,
Neither
didn't
of us.
happen. That left me.
Forgot
was
our
in-
homework.
I was in Horizon.
Yeah, and I was desperately trying to finish Final Fantasy before I got looped into Undertale. I did take a scroll through it. Nothing really jumped out at me.
Yeah.
You had found something that you thought was quite the gem, though. As far as like, I don't know if you actually played it a bit or if you just saw it and thought it was interesting. Because I think we've seen it before.
Yeah, it's called The Pathless, which I'm pretty sure is on all the major consoles. And I said that maybe this is one to look at because it's console quality. So I downloaded it. I did play like the little tutorial area, and it's quite a looker. Like this thing runs great. It looks great, but if you don't have a controller, your hands are all over the screen, and I don't know how you play it. Like your swipe, like there's a dodge swipe, and then there's a tap to run, and then you're controlling the camera. And so there's just a lot of buttons on the screen. I wouldn't recommend it if you're just playing touch screen. And then it just heated up my phone like a firecracker. Like it was maybe 5 minutes, and that thing was it was hot. So it's not you're gonna need your phone plugged in, and maybe that defeats the purpose of having mobile gaming. I'm not sure, but wonderful looking game, and it has something to it, and I think it has a good story to it. It's just something that I wouldn't play on a touch screen necessarily. So
Yeah, so it sounds up my. I should really give this a download then.
yeah,
Because-
I think so.
Again, as we were on the constant quest to try to validate my Backbone purchase,
Right.
it would seem like this is like one of the perfect things for it. I think what's really wild, I mean, with Minecraft. So again, I think the reason it was Pocket Edition before is because Minecraft at the time was too big for phones.
Okay. Yeah.
But now it's just this is the exact same game you're playing. Because I think some phones are probably almost as powerful as a Switch. And Pathless is very much a game that I saw on Xbox and PlayStation. Like this is a full console game that they just happen to port to mobile.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
absurd. This is the world we're living in, where like the devices are what you're using to text and talk to your wife
Yeah.
is more powerful than many of the consoles we grew up with, and currently have some modern titles to them.
Yeah. It does create this weird. I always find that I shouldn't be using my phone for this because it's for communication, right? So like if I burn my battery on this and I am not near a charger, I'm not getting your text, Trevor, for tonight's podcast. I'm
That
sorry.
was the reason, yes.
But yeah, totally understand. Like these are console level, again, games. The whole, we mentioned Fortnite before, like all of that is on mobile. So it's just something that my kids, when they do eventually get proper phones and not hand-me-downs, they might get into this kind of stuff. And maybe that's where like Apple Arcade comes into play. Because right now, if we forgot about it in a week, I'm not sure I'm going to continue the subscription. We'll see.
Now, I'd be curious to see when our kids do get that age. I do wonder about guys like us who came up with gaming, if there's a bit of a barrier. I think for myself there is. If I'm going to try a big, meaty, like emotional, investing type of game,
Yeah.
I think it's hard for me to place that in the phone. Like the phone has some fantastic games, right? Like I love playing a few games on it, but it's kind of like quick hits. But when it comes to gaming time, okay, it's time to game. Like that's a very precious type of time because I don't have very much of it.
Yeah.
No, I need like it's sit down console. Like that's what I do for gaming, right? So there's that separation where the device in my mind is still very much like you said, as a communication, maybe some throwaway games. It's great, but then
Yeah.
gaming, big serious consoles. And I wonder if that's just because I'm old. like I wonder
Oh,
if
no.
there's that. I just wonder if there's that like visual, not visual. There's that barrier for me because of how I came up with gaming, and technology in some ways will pass me by, and that will be something that doesn't exist for kids, where kids will be very much like, yeah, big, huge, great games that I love are on any screen possible. It doesn't really matter. Like old man, like what is this box in the living room? You don't need this.
That's
Check my
exactly what
iPhone
it is.
18.
I hate it. No, it's gonna happen. But I think you framed it quite well, where we just had that different sense of what gaming is coming up, and it's just like a weird, like it's like a mind barrier. You just have to get over it to enjoy it, maybe. But I'm like you. I need to be in a space. I will game on the Nintendo Switch, and somehow that's better. I don't know. It's just mobile doesn't. But my kids don't care. Again, they're growing up with Minecraft. They're like, this pixel cube looks the same on this screen as it does any other screens. So I don't know.
I mean, I'm telling you, like I was looking at I. It's weird to say, but I almost think that Minecraft on my phone looked better than the Switch version.
Wow.
Yeah.
Probably if your phone, like the screen on your phone, for sure.
It's the screen. Oh, it's higher density, but even the performance. I'm telling you, I swear it was better on my iPhone than it was on the Switch.
Shh, Nintendo doesn't want to hear that.
It's not. It's no dig on Switch. I just think like I'd be curious to know the actual benchmarks if like a modern iPhone is actually better than a Switch, perhaps.
It's also a quarter of the price, right? Because on the Switch, I think it's $35, and you pay what, $6.99, $10? I don't know.
Now, mind you, a Switch costs like 300.
true.
An iPhone costs 1,200.
Yeah, true.
So like we're getting into some weird
Yeah.
pricing models here. But God, it's gonna be it'll be wild to watch as our kids aren't there. They're a few years off from getting a true. Okay, you're old enough that you can responsibly handle this. Here's your own true smartphone.
I hope so.
And
Have hope for me.
You'll be the first one to go through that
Oh.
that minefield. But what does happen when our kids do get those phones, and what does gaming look like? We'll say, "Hey, come join us on the PS6." Like, what? That crusty old box? What? I got a whole gaming world in my hand. I don't need that nonsense, old man.
Exactly. Oh, no, don't say that. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Here's your cane, old man. Get back to want me to wheel you up for your oatmeal, old man?
Sure, Dad. Whatever, Dad.
Yeah, shut up, Dad.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's not like that.
That's right.
Let's hope they're a little bit more
I
kind
hope
to us.
so. Yeah.
By that point, they might actually listen to this show, and we'll have to watch what we say. We'll have to go back and scrub old episodes.
That's what
when we're not super.
Yeah, blur our faces out like witness protection. Oh, this random dad.
I'm not sure who that guy. Well, look how young and fresh he is.
Oh, look at the screen. That's when you were born. I see the stress lines.
And watch the hairline.
That's right.
Tick away,
away.
year by year. All right. And on that wonderful, happy note, we'll end
Yeah.
it off for the week. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. If you want to get a hold of us, if you have some iOS darlings that Jeff and I should check out on Apple Arcade, if you have thoughts towards kids transitioning away from crusty old consoles like us gaming dads like, or just even thoughts on it, we'd love to hear that type of stuff. You can find us at our website, newdadgaming.com. You can also find us at Twitter at newdadgaming. We've been having just some fantastic interactions with people lately. Adore it. And Jeff, as always, as we say, we just cannot thank you enough for interacting with us on these platforms. It's a blast to hear from other gaming dads. Speaking of interacting and helping out the show, if you liked it, what really would help if you subscribe to the show on any of the major podcasting networks. So you're looking at Apple iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, anywhere where you get your podcasts. If you did like it, it really helps if you subscribe, and even more so if you leave a rating and a comment. Helps us spread out to reach as many gaming dads as possible. And if we reach a large enough group, we'll be able to write a stern letter to the console makers to keep doing it and not abandon all hope for for mobile phones.
That's right. Yeah.
Band together is with us dads.
Yeah.
On that note, everybody, thank you so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. My name is Trevor. I have some consoles, darn it, and a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have probably 4 copies of Minecraft, and 11-year-old and an 8-year-old.
I got more copies of Minecraft than I
right.
got kids.
That's
I know
right.
what happened.
I don't know what happened.
Thanks so much, everybody. And remember, just because you became a dad.
Does not mean it's game over.
Cheers. See you next week.
See you later.